Hi, I'm Dr. Duke, and this is Campus Roundup at the College Fix. Our top story segment this week considers the question of campus bias or left-wing insanity. To discuss the extent to which so-called campus bias response teams have become little more than progressive censorship police, we welcome Arissa Damron, an English major at Yale University and a journalist for the College Fix. Arissa, you recently wrote a very interesting article for The Fix entitled "College Encourages Students to Report Signs Color-Coded Either Pink for Girls or Blue for Boys as a Bias Incident." Tell us a little bit at Williams College in Massachusetts. Tell us a little bit what the bias reporting process is at Williams College.
Right. So through the Speak Up Diversity Initiative at Williams College, they've established an online form where Williams students, faculties, and other people on campus can log in and log these bias incident reports that they see on campus. These forms ask for your name, when you saw the incident, to describe the incident, if you know who said this bias speech, and then how it made you feel, a date, etc. And you can either check yes or no to include it on a larger database of these incidents.
Well, it's remarkable to me that this is, as you pointed out, a diversity initiative. What in the world does genuine diversity require this kind of interfering administrative action to sort of weed out comments? What do you think is going on here? How does diversity link with this kind of speech police?
I think this is an example of the university trying to step in and say that they know better than their students. They're trying to say our students are not brave enough, are not smart enough, are not confident enough to address these issues on their own, to say, hey, that joke was offensive, and to actually have this dialogue. And so they're stepping in order to allow for greater diversity of people, but in less diversity of thought.
I think that's a wonderful point. Greater diversity of rather topical diversity, right? Skin color, sexuality, gender, that sort of thing, but much less freedom for people to speak their minds. Is this really something that happened, or is this a worst case scenario that the university is trying to head off? Do we really have color-coded signs across campus where they identify as girls with pink and boys with blue, or is this something that some faculty administrator doesn't like on their own when they see it in the popular culture, that they're now using this platform they have to try to crack down on students using it?
As far as I can tell through my investigation, there have been no reported bias incidents using color-coded signs, though Williams will not share their database of bias incidents reported with outside individuals not from Williams. However, the few bias incidents reported in their college newspaper have been mostly racially insensitive drawings and comments.
What are some of the other, besides the color coding, what are some of the other issues that the statement that came out from Williams College said they're going to try to crack down on? What other incidents that they list that go along with that?
Other incidents they list on this example sheet include excluding others for whatever reason, telling stereotypical jokes, appropriating culture, though they don't define that, and things like that.
Well, aren't you excluding others? If somebody wants to dress their little girl in pink or wants to suggest that blue is a color for boys, aren't you excluding them?
Exactly, but it's a bias incident nonetheless.
Right, and the university is going to investigate it. And now, in all of your research, you have not been able to find out what happens. What happens once a complaint like this enters the process at Williams?
So once you fill out the form, it goes to a committee composed of students and faculty alike. But after that, it's really unclear what happens. There's not necessarily a kangaroo court or tribunal that you go to. There's no necessary repercussions, though police have been involved in bias incidents in the past, especially those racially insensitive drawings and comments. But as far as I can tell, no police reports were filed, no students were expelled, anything like that. It's very unclear if they could be punished within the college, by faculty, etc.
Well, one thing I can tell you for sure from my experience on college campuses as a professor is these things end up in your permanent file. Every silly complaint, even if there's no basis for it, even if the university itself ultimately refuses to even investigate it, as a student or a faculty member or even an administrator, this becomes part of your permanent university file. So if enough of these things add up, even if they all mean nothing individually, collectively they can make a case for it. Now, you were on campus back in 2015 at Yale, certainly, when the infamous Halloween controversy arose. Tell us what happened on Yale's campus then.
Like at Williams, the administrators felt the need to preemptively strike on potential bias incidents and sent out an email warning students against racially insensitive costumes, telling them that there was a support network there for them should they see them. And a brave faculty member, Erica Christakis, spoke out saying, Yale students are smart enough to know better, to police their own behavior, to police their own costumes. And she was berated and forced out of the university.
So one very courageous, liberal, and she was very liberal, right? This was not some right-wing conservative professor. So a very liberal, very engaged professor on campus. Her students loved her. She had great student evaluations. But simply for daring to challenge the Yale bias response team in their preemptive attack on Yale students about Halloween, she was literally driven from the college. Is that typical of what's going on in Yale? And is that something that is representative of the student body as a whole? Or is this just a small group of really motivated students who are responsible for this?
At Yale, we have a good, annual protest. People get mad about grad student hunger strikes for unionization and changing the name of Calhoun College and things like that. But it's a small but mighty group of a lot of the same individuals getting active over the different things. So I wouldn't say it's representative of the entire population because there's a lot of apathy here at Yale, but there is a small but mighty protest culture who will be at every protest, at every rally, everything that they need to get done on campus for varying degrees of issue.
Arissa, I'm grateful for your time today. I want to give you the last word. What can you tell students who might find themselves in the crosshairs of this kind of investigation? What can you tell people on campus, kids, about how to navigate this on campus?
I really advise students to be confident in their own actions and to know how to have these discussions about what is and is not correct to say on campus among themselves and really police their own behavior and not feel the need to go to administrators for the final say. We're adults. We're going to be citizens of the world, and we need to start acting like it.
Well said. Arissa Dameron of Yale University, thank you for your time. To hear more from student reporters like Arissa, follow the College Fix on Twitter and Facebook.